Hey there, boys and girls. It's Miss Peppers. I want to first start by kind of going over a few things that are going really great in the art room lately. I hope you guys are enjoying all of our projects we've been doing. They've kind of been evolving from one thing to another. I know I sure have been enjoying them, and I'm super proud of the way that you've invested yourself into your work. I see that you care a lot about the projects that you're creating. And I think that we've come up with a really good solution to a smaller amount of time in the art room by creating smaller pieces. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. And hopefully for the rest of the year, that will be our theme. We'll get to dabble in lots of different techniques, materials, supplies, and just working smaller will allow us to do that and have time for it. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera around in just a second, but I want to go over a few things that we need to talk about before we move on to more materials, techniques, and supplies. Okay, so I see a lot of things that are going great. Like I said before, we have lots of techsperts. We have techsperts teaching others to be techsperts. We have uploading going on to Artsonia. We have naming our art pieces. And when it comes to cleaning up the art room, I think is where we're having a little bit, well, maybe some classes are having a little bit of trouble. So I'm going to go over some things that you need to be looking for as we're cleaning up our studio, because that's super important. And that's a very important part of the process of being a responsible artist who has great studio habits. So I want to see those things. This is your space. So you have to learn to take care of your space too. So that means whatever materials and supplies that you get out, you need to be putting them back. And even if you didn't get them out, remember, we're kind of like all pitching in together at the end. So it's like teamwork. It just goes faster that way. And you're going to earn more minutes because I'm going to start documenting, like writing down how long it takes each class to clean up. That way I know if they can earn an extra minute of studio creation time because they cleaned up so awesome and so quickly and thoroughly. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So let me pause real quick and I'm going to turn my camera around and kind of give you a brief description of things that you need to be looking for during cleanup time. Okay, so when you hear the first alarm on my phone, or if I tell you, because maybe we didn't hear it, maybe we had music playing or it was a little bit louder than normal. When I tell you that was the first alarm, it's time to stop. I usually give you a heads up too. I say, okay, we have 5 more minutes of creation time. So as soon as you stop, as soon as you hear that first alarm, it is not time to come up to Miss Peppers. It is time, hang on. Y'all can say hi to my daughter. She left her water in the art room and she's off on her way to Wilkerson. Say hi. All right, sorry about that. Back to what we were doing and talking about. As soon as you hear the first alarm go off, that means clean up. So that means stop and get everything that you brought to the table, push in chairs, check the floor for anything that fell on the floor. And then just start, after you clean up your area, you just start walking around and tidying up the space. Now, this is a Monday morning, so it's been cleaned over the weekend. And some things stay out. If it was already there, like these dry erase marker boards and dry erase markers, then it stays there. So if you came into the room and oil pastels were on those back tables, then the oil pastels might stay there that day. Okay, and I'll tell you some of that stuff. If architecture's open for the day, the buckets, they come back here in these cubby spots. Okay, there's some over here. And these kind of buckets come on this shelf. All right. If they're tilting down like this, you got to just lift them up and push them all the way back. If you see pieces in the wrong spots, like I already see some in the wrong places, be an awesome friend and put them in the right containers, because we don't want things to get mixed up and Miss Peppers can't stay for hours after school organizing things. This is your studio. Okay, yeah. Right here where the collage paper is, If you look down under, there's usually tons of paper that get knocked over if anyone used collage that day. This can stay messy. Please never clean this. That's not a job I want you to do. Also, I don't want anyone grabbing a rag and wiping tables unless I specifically give you that job, just because I have a next class coming in and you might accidentally have used a rag that was too wet and it won't be dry in time for the next class. And sometimes they're not messy enough to worry about cleaning. We have other things to do. So washing brushes. If you're a sink manager and you're washing brushes, you go like this and you rinse, tap. You can tap on the bottom until there's no more color coming out, and then you dry. You dry it off on a towel. I don't mind if you leave them flat like this. This is actually good. Sometimes people put them in a bucket of no water down, and that's the wrong way. If the brushes are cleaned, they've been washed, they either go bristles up or they can lay flat on a towel so they dry. Just like, oh, I thought I had one that said bristles up. I don't. Okay. These are temper cakes. They can be just put back where they go. Watercolors go on this tray, but we want to make sure this area stays nice and dry. Okay. So chairs pushed in, nothing on the floor, things put back where they belong. If you used iPads for uploading, you do not have to turn the iPads off, but please make sure that you put them back in this little bucket upside down so that you can put the charger in right here. Just charge them, okay? And I don't want them turned off because then the next class will just have to turn them back on. If this lamp is on, turn it off before you leave. And when we line up, you hear that second alarm, I say, oh, we heard the second alarm, time to line up. You line up behind the pickle tape, and it might change because I'm sure that'll get torn off eventually. You line up behind the pickle tape. First person grabs the art sign if we're going to PE. And the last person out is going to make sure that the door closes, because if I'm not in the room and children are not in the room, the door must always remain closed. Even if children are in the room, if you're running to the restroom and you grab a restroom pass, go to the restroom, please don't leave the door open. Make sure it closes all the way, okay? And I think that's enough of the reminders for today. We're just gonna have to really focus in on doing a better job of teamwork and cleaning up together and being more efficient in that. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.